Hi, I'm Maddi Runkles, and this is Grayson, but he goes by Gray. I found out that I was pregnant in January of last year, so I was halfway through my senior year of high school. I had just been accepted into college, and I went to a very small, strict Christian high school. It's in like the western part of Maryland in Hagerstown, and I knew that it wasn't going to go over very well at all. And so I told my family, and they were extremely supportive, and we told my school. My dad was actually the board president, so he called a meeting and he told my principal and he told the board, he told them what was going on, and their immediate reaction was, well, she has to leave. She can finish her academics, she can get her diploma from here, but she has to leave school and she cannot be seen on campus or around the school people until after she has the baby, and I was due in September. So that was my punishment. I was not allowed to be seen at school. My brother still went there. He was in 9th grade. He was on the sports teams. I couldn't go to his games. I couldn't go to anything that happened at the school over the summer. And so that was my punishment. After I have the baby, you're allowed to be seen around here, just not while you're pregnant, because we don't want people to get the wrong idea about this place. So that happened, and then I reached out to Students for Life, and there was a couple meetings with the board of us, appealing the decision and everything. And so finally, the final decision was, you can come back, you can attend classes on campus, but we want you to sit in the back of the classroom. And I was in a class of 15 kids. It was going to be obvious that I was in the back of the classroom. And so thankfully, I had some teachers stand up for me with that, and they're like, no, she's going to sit with the class. That's going to be weird. And so I wasn't allowed to walk across the stage at graduation, and I was not allowed to be in any of my leadership positions. And so I was taken out of those. I wasn't allowed to walk across the stage at graduation, and then I was asked to sit in the back of the classroom. The adults at my school, they were very supportive at first, but then we started to push back a little bit and say, no, you can't. This isn't how you treat people. You're sending out the wrong message. What is the next girl going to do? Is she going to have an abortion because she sees the way that Maddie's being treated? What is she going to do? So the school wasn't happy with that, obviously, but nobody stood up and said anything. Nobody did anything. Nobody said, you can't treat her like this. You can't do this. What's going to happen to the next girl? So I finished my senior year. I didn't get to walk across the stage at graduation, but I had 3 best friends, and there were 4 girls in my class, so obviously the other 3 were my best friends. And so they were extremely supportive. I had one friend who, she was in all of my classes with me. The other 2, we were in a couple of different classes together. And she stuck by my side the whole way through the rest of high school. She would make sure that she was always with me walking to class, just in case anybody said anything. She was very protective over me, and I'm so thankful for her. And that's what we need to do. We need to be there to support these girls, because if I didn't have support, I don't know what decision I would have made. You know, my school did what they did. Thank goodness I had my family, and I had my best friends and Students for Life to support me and to help me get through that really tough time. And I can't imagine how the next girl that this happens to would feel, because if I was that next girl and I saw a girl like me go through something like that, and what happened to me, if I was that next girl, I probably wouldn't choose life. I probably would have chose abortion. And all this stuff that was going on with my school, every once in a while I would get really down, really upset about everything. And I would just think, you know, why did I choose life? This isn't worth it. I'm tired of being treated like this. If I would have just had an abortion, nobody would be treating me like this, and nobody would even know about it. But then I would have robbed this little guy of a future. I mean, like, he's perfect. I'm totally biased, but he's perfect, and I've had so much fun. He's 6 months old now, and he's at that age where everything is new and exciting. He's starting to understand more. He can figure out how to play with his toys and stuff. And I can't imagine my life without him. And when I was going through all this, a lot of people at school, and especially the students, because they were seeing how the parents were reacting and stuff. And so the students reacted the way the parents did, and that was, you know, in a negative way and stuff. So the students, they would start nasty group chats about me, and they would add me, or they would add my friend, or they would add my brother. I didn't need to be treated any different than any other kid. I didn't need to be treated worse. I didn't need to be treated better because I was pregnant. You know, I knew that I had to be punished because I broke a rule, but to put me, you know, on display like that, and to not let me finish out my senior year like everybody else, that was extremely uncalled for, and that sends a wrong message to other girls that this happens to, and sets the wrong example for other schools and how to handle a situation like this. So what I really just want you guys to understand today is just be there for that girl. You never think it's gonna happen to your school or happen to your friend, but I mean, you'd be surprised. I never thought that it would happen to me ever, and I know my friends didn't think that it would happen to us at our school. But when something like that does happen, just be there, support them, love them. It's not the end of the world. I'm still going off to college. I just have him following along. It's a little difficult, but it makes it interesting. Yeah. So yeah, just be there, be supportive, and this March for Life here, I know sometimes it feels like what we do and what we fight for isn't worth it, but I promise in the long run it really is worth it. You are making a difference. So just be there, be supportive, and just don't give up. That's it.